So you're telling me that Tyr is no longer the most broken deck in the game's history? Now make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. China just ran another no ban list tournament, and we actually get to see some incredibly interesting results here, as Ryzel is the dominating monster here. Ryzel took first, second, and third place out of this event. Now you're probably like, where's Tyr? Well, Tyr was actually the second most represented deck in the entire overall participation of the tournament, which is not surprising because when you look at Tyr as a whole, you generally look at that deck as the powerhouse monster that it is, being able to set up some of the most crazy unlimited fields, but Ryzel has access to Dweller. And if you can actually shut your opponent out of the game to a stage where they can't actually play it, of course Ryzel's going to have a very, very strong matchup. Now, we also had Magical Scientist FTK as the third most represented deck, which is kind of hilarious to think about, actually. That, Magical Scientist getting his job done out here. We have 4 Malice decks bringing up the rear. And surprisingly enough, we have an Exosister, we have a Sky Striker, a Yummy, a Vanquish Soul, and DD Dynamite with 13 other unknown decks within the field of this event, which it's a very widespread net of decks that we are seeing being emphasized for this event. And honestly, I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know, man. I didn't think that Ryzel would be the unlimited monster for what it is. And I mean, unlimited format is definitely its own creature for what it is, but modern cards are definitely driving the design space here. Let's pass on over to Decklist. All right, so winning our event here is, that's Triple Dimension Shifter built into the main deck. I don't need to deal with the craziness that is going to be, my opponent initiating Tyr combo. Any floodgate that you can throw at them, I mean, you make this, you make Abyss Dweller, or you make Shockmaster. Or you know what? We can even make the Azathoth and go into it during the opponent's turn to shut them out. It's honestly very impressive just to see how many tools, this deck has. Also, we're only playing one Graceful Charity. You're going with the Triple Forceful, side decking the Confiscations, get the hand ripping. We've also got the Silent Graveyard in here as well, sealing away any chance that Tyr has of getting set up, I think is absolutely impressive. So even you still get to see things like Imperm still being slotted in here just to be able to play the game. Awesome. Now, we shift gears here. Yet once again, we see Triple Shifter coming in to that mainstay here to be able to terror through anything your opponent does. We also got the Triple Grace Charity, Triple Pot Agreed. But this list is also emphasizing the Triple Confiscation and the Triple Forceful Sentry. These cards are very, very unique in the way that they are because they influence the game in such a lopsided direction. It's kind of crazy. Also, I feel like nobody had an out for Royal Oppression. I feel like you just made a detonator with Eclipse Twins up and running with a Royal Oppression. I feel like your opponent just hit the concede button. Like, there is really no back and forth within this format. It is all just clamp blowout city in terms of what you're doing. And I mean, your emphasis on hand traps is very minuscule, even within this format. I just love the fact that Ash is even still here to do its job. And then we have our last of the 3 list here for first, second, and third. This list going with the triple copies of Grace Charity. I do see, though, this build chose to bring in a copy of Dragon's Mind, which I honestly, if you can discard it, pay $2,500, bring it back, have a counter trap up and running, I mean, it's not a terrible way to, look at things. Triple Shifter yet again. This list also is playing a single copy of Droll, which is kind of an interesting decision, actually. I kind of like that. We also do get to see we have Level Chain up and running back here. Good old Azathoth, Shockmaster. Oh, God. I'm really just disgusted with how good this deck really feels within the space of this format, because, you know, when you go, it's just so good. Thanks, Dweller. You're my BFF. Next up here, we actually have Sky Strikers making top 4, which I thought was kind of impressive, honestly. Being able just to hit your opponent with the hand rippers, because all 3 of these, or all 6 of these, will always be, you know, ready to go turn 1 of the game. So that seems pretty good. We also side deck in Delinquent Duo, which, okay. We also do get to see, gosh darn it, man, the Fallen and the Virtuous is making rounds in unlimited format now. You really got to be kidding me with this. I also love the fact that Sky Striker's bringing in Pure Order, but to be fair, you know, once this deck kind of establishes itself and, you know, has its body set up, I don't really feel like you're outing this. You know, it's just kind of, you know, what you're going to be seeing here. So I think everything that, you know, Sky Striker's got going for it is just turbo find all of the cards that you can and go to town from there. Next up here, oh boy, it's Scientist time. So of course, the true terror within the format has to be Magical Scientist. His entire job is to start paying life points, which is going to start to put out these Corvatures. Guess what? We can then spin into the Starving Venom guy here, and this is where you start to get to do the FTK stuff because of the Independent Nightingale and all of that little stupid stuff. But, I mean, you got a couple little extra tools down here. You know, being able to bring out an Ilya Sylvia to have as a negate while, you know, your Scientist just kind of, you know, forks out the rest of what you want to do. It's pretty crazy, honestly. I just kind of appreciate the fact of, you know, this deck being able to use the crazy stuff here, and also Lost Will being absolutely bonkers, batshit crazy in this format. Next up, Nekroz? Well, I can tell you the reason why this build actually did well was because being able to degen out a monster and then have the your neither, or what is this, if you would ritual summon using this card, the other player cannot, I love it says that the other player, so you get this free little value. We also have Future Fusion putting in a lot of work for this list, which I do see that we are using the Denial Deity Dotan in here, being able to a light plus 2 monsters. So, I mean, I guess this is how we can also get the degen down as need be. But, I mean, your illusion here is there are Rizal cards present in here. You just got more emphasis on the Nekroz stuff. But interesting to see, you know who the punishing meisters of this format are. Ah, finally, a Tier Elements list. Hello? So, for what reason? I mean, we do play the... I gotta process, you know, how this deck works now, because I see that we've built in Neprim with the Sapphire. This is an Aqua monster, which I think does help. We're also not really maximizing on the Millers anymore. I think we're putting more of an emphasis on the Shufflers here, because they're just more powerful. Obviously, you know, you slam Painful Choice on the table, your opponent's going to crap their pants, because they're going to be like, what is going on here? Like, why are you doing this? Well, it's because it's broken. I also do have, actually, somebody bringing in Mystic Mine. This is the first Mystic Mine I've seen all event here, but also more Floodgates, more of an emphasis on the turn skipping side of, you know, unlimited format. But this looks just kind of like what I expected to see. And then we just have another casual Rizal player back here in the back, man. The fact that, you know, you got the shifters, the hand-ripping cards doing their job. Another copy of Silent Graveyard bringing up the rear here. Shockmaster has a thought. You know, the casual skippers of fun actually, you know, doing their job. But I think this event is a pretty good indicator of the current state of Unlimited format. You actually have a good look here as to what this format is capable of looking like. And I think that's really, really cool. So please comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you. Ugh.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.